Hey guys, we got another Tuesday, best day of the week. Gonna talk today about these different electric ratchets. These type of tools are really what you can use to speed through a job, and these work for anything from brakes to tune-ups, timing belt jobs, really anything that you're gonna use a ratchet wrench. You can use an electric ratchet like this to speed through it. It just gives you that upper hand, and gives you that efficiency on, doing some flat rate. Let's take a look around the shop real quick. I'll show you what we got going on here. Right now we got a Dodge van. We're putting a PCM in it. Alternator's not charging. Found that the PCM's not, it's not using the voltage regulator that's actually built into the PCM. So the alternator's not charging. Got just a brake job we're doing on a Kia. This Acura, it's like a newer Acura RLX, putting a transmission in it. And we got just an oil change on a BMW. A bunch of other cars waiting to come in. But today it's all about these ratchet, electric ratchets. So this is for a lot of technicians. Sometimes the electric ratchet is going to be one of the first things that they get, maybe from a Snap-on truck or elsewhere. And I'm going to showcase, kind of every budget here. Maybe from a beginner's one to a more expensive one, more of an investment. So we'll start from left to right. My oldest electric ratchet that I have is going to be this little 1/4-inch Skill Saw is the brand electric ratchet. I've had this thing for probably 15 years, and it has never let me down. Now the torque on this is pretty non-existent. A ratchet like this with very low torque is meant to use your hand to break whatever it is loose, and then you're going to use the ratchet to drive it out or drive it in the rest of the way. So this is for speed. It's not for leverage. It's not for torque. It's basically just for cracking something free and then using the electric motor in the tool to drive it out and in faster. And where this thing really shines, where I use this the most, is going to be interior work. If you're doing a blower motor, you're doing a heater core, things like that do not have a lot of torque, you could get in there with this and just zip them in and out a lot quicker than trying to remove some of those hard to reach nuts and bolts by hand. And what I use a lot with this is my arsenal of 1/4-inch swivels. There are things that this little 1/4-inch ratchet with an extension with a 1/4-inch swivel are able to get that it might take 10 times longer to get without these tools. So this Skill electric ratchet has been awesome. I really love this thing. Next one on the list is going to be this Milwaukee. This is if you're invested in the M12 platform. This is kind of the base model Milwaukee electric ratchet. One like this probably going to run you about $80, $90. And again, this doesn't have a lot of torque, but for an electric ratchet, it's pretty small. You can get into a tight space. This is going to be more for breaking something free, kind of like the Skill one, and then zipping it in and out, quicker. So I use this a lot for like tune-ups, and something like this is going to be nice, especially the Milwaukee, if you are already invested in the M12 battery platform. So the nice thing about this Milwaukee is it has a feature where if it's going to snap it back and torque your wrist, this has a feature where it will automatically kind of shut off or limit the torque so it doesn't snap at you, so it doesn't snap your wrist. So This one I use not so frequently, but I use it enough that it's nice. Definitely worth having. The next one on the list is the ACDelco. This one's a classic. This is like a classic Amazon kit that you can get. The ACDelco ratchet. I think it's $100. Comes with 2 batteries, charger, and then the ratchet itself. And this thing is a beast. It is super torquey, believe it or not. But with the torque that this thing has, man, if you're doing a brake job and it doesn't break whatever it is free, or you're tightening a bolt, once it gets to the last thread and it's tight, this thing will just wrench your wrist real hard. I've had this, a few years now. I would actually recommend this ACDelco one for like someone beginning in the industry, for someone that wants an electric ratchet that doesn't want to spend $300-400 on like a Snap-on one. This kit's real nice. Comes with the 2 batteries. When one dies, you could grab another one, pop it in. You're good to go. Just be wary when you are, about to do the final tightening on something. This will just wrench your wrist when it's done, once it gets to that last torque. So, but yeah, definitely recommend this ACDelco one. It's actually pretty nice for a cheapo. On to the Snap-on ones. So the red one and the gray one are the same. They're probably like medium when it comes to torque. They're not super fast, but the nice thing about the Snap-on ones is comes with a warranty, and you get a Snap-on truck that comes every week. So if you got a problem with one, you could send it out, you could get it rebuilt. The Snap-on one also has a nice light. The thing that I don't like about the Snap-on platform is these batteries get stuck. They get stuck inside the tools, and sometimes you gotta pull with all your might to get these out. But Snap-on's gonna carry the best warranty. To me, I think they are a little bit overpriced. But if you are already invested in the Snap-on battery platform, you work at a shop, you got a Snap-on truck that comes every week, this is definitely a nice investment. You're going to be set back about $450 for the Snap-on ratchet with the battery, with the charger. But money spent in this industry is money earned. So if you want kind of the best of the best warranty, this Snap-on one, is not a bad way to go. The beefiest of them all is this long neck Snap-on ratchet. You could even hear when it spins. This thing is a beast. This thing can break free a lot of the caliper bolts. A lot of the bolts that some of these other ones can't break free. The nice thing about this one is the long reach. So even if the electric motion itself isn't going to break the nut free, you kind of have that leverage to do that initial break of the of the nut or the bolt, and then you could use the electric to get it out the rest of the way. Man, it can't be understated how torquey this thing is. I think this has a torque limiting function when it gets to the last little bit, because it doesn't seem like it wrenches my wrist hard. But this thing is nice, especially if you're doing a lot of brake work. But also I find doing tune-ups, like on a 6-cylinder where you have to reach to the back of the engine, this thing is awesome. So also, you're going to be looking at about $450-500 for this Snap-on long neck ratchet. But same idea. If you're already invested into the Snap-on platform, you already got the batteries, maybe you could go for just the bare tool only, and this thing's awesome. The one that I use the most out of all of these, I think you guys are probably going to be a little bit shocked, but I honestly think my favorite out of all of these is going to be the Skill one, the 1/4-inch Skill one. I've had it for so long. It's so small. It can get in such tight spaces. It's lightweight. I do not depend on it to break something free. But what I do depend on it for is to pull some little nuts and bolts in and out real quick, and especially interior work. For a lot of the non-interior work, a lot of the brake jobs, motor work, I'm going to be going for like an impact like this, or an impact like my little Milwaukee. But for little stuff, especially with some nice 1/4-inch extensions, and especially with some nice 1/4-inch swivels, man, this little cheap Skill electric ratchet has been awesome. I really think it's my favorite. It's also the cheapest out of all of them. I've had it the longest, and yeah, it just hasn't ever let me down, and that's important in this industry. So yeah, guys, comment. Let me know what you want to see next. If you got any questions, appreciate you watching. Before we go, let me show off this little light I just got too. This thing's pretty tight. I actually got it on eBay. It's titanium, has a cool zebra print, super bright, 4 LEDs. Just a little bonus. So, all right, guys, take it easy. We'll see you next week. Peace.